Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm LT. I'm a recovering addict. I'm an alcoholic addict. I've got 3 years clean just about. October 5th, it's going to be 3 freaking years that I haven't put any mind-altering drugs or drinks in this body. Blows my mind. A day I never thought would be possible. Something I never thought I could achieve. And it's funny now when I look back at the process, it's a lot more simple than I thought. And now if I could go back, what do I wish I would have known then that I know now? Gotten through my head. It's all about our understanding who we are. It takes some of us a lot longer to learn than others, for it to make sense, to understand. And I'd want to take care of 4 things. I would want to take care of my sleep, my diet, and my exercise right out of the gate. Just simple stuff. Trying to go to bed. And I know trying to fix your sleep while you're going through detox and withdrawals and all that stuff is very difficult. But if you can get a good sleep cycle, your body runs amazing. And then if you give your body the fuel it needs, it's going to clear up and get better quicker. And then if you exercise, you're just going to get stronger, better, quicker. And then the 4th main ingredient I really wish I would have understood is just patience of the process, because it takes time. It takes time. It takes time to build muscle. It takes time to lose weight. It takes time to learn new things, because you have to consume new content, and then you have to put it into practice, and then you have to see what works and what doesn't work, and then redo it again, right? Trial and error. And to understand that this process of building is going to make life so much better. And I wish I would have just known that drugs were going to ruin me anyway, and I could have stayed out and avoided the whole mess. But I don't regret learning everything I've learned along my journey of life and the education that I have in life. Good morning, Eugene. Crystal Call, good morning. Grateful to see you and see you here. How is everybody doing today? Remember, on this broadcast, you can be dropping some stars. Stars help support the channel. A new thing we got here at Facebook. Thank you very much, Facebook. Yeah. So today we're going to go through a podcast that was sent to me by Joe Rogan. And it just reminds me of how much we actually need people. It's funny. At the end of the day, recovery is your choice. The effort has to be done by you. You can get advice from me. You can get advice from other people. You can search and seek everything from people, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to be honest. It's your responsibility to fix the things in your life. You're in charge of your life. You decide where you want to be and how you want to be there. But the dichotomy of that is we need other people to do it as well. We need a good support group. We need to surround ourselves with positive people who push us in the right direction. We need to surround ourselves with friends who aren't going to hold back the truth from us just because it might hurt our feelings. I'd rather have people hate me now and live later than like me now and be down a road and a path of destruction because I just told them what they wanted to hear, And I'm glad people in my life have done that to me. The people that have done that to me in my life over the long years of my life, even back when I was a kid, there's those few that stand out in my mind, and it was always the person who told me the truth, even if I didn't want to hear it, because it actually affected my life in a positive way, because it wasn't BS, I'm grateful for that stuff. Good morning, brother. Thank you. It is day 74, I think. Is that what I'm on? I got 2 days left. So it's your first time here. What I've been doing and why I've been going live every single morning, why I've been dropping a daily vlog every single day, is I've challenged myself. A challenge called the 75 hard, right? 2 workouts a day, no alcohol, eat clean. You have to work out outside. And so I was like, I can do that. And I put myself to that challenge, but I added a few extra things to mine. I wanted to go live every single morning to challenge myself, to discipline myself to get out of bed, fixing my sleep cycle. Dropping a daily vlog, record stuff throughout the day, with my new camera, edit, and learn that whole process and see what I can learn and just make everything automatic. And I'm on the 74th day. Tomorrow is the last day of this challenge. I get to take a little break and take everything I've learned, and I get to come back with more fierceness and quality, with better education. I understand my camera super well. I understand shots, angles. I know my editor. I understand how my computer works now, like just the functionality of it, uploading, downloading, gigabytes versus meg, all that stuff, man. It's a great learning thing. Oh, and on top of that, I've lost like 20 pounds and I've gotten extremely strong. Benched 315 the other day, 4 times. Last night I deadlifted. I did a sumo deadlift at 405 for rep of 4 times. This week I've felt really strong. It's insane. Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, man, my hands are calloused. Like, I don't know if you can see them. But look at those suckers. That's from back day and work, deadlifting and pull-ups and all that stuff. I can do muscle-ups now. I can get 3 muscle-ups. 1. And it just shows, like, it took 75 days to get here, though. You know, I'm on day 74. It's taking me 74 days to get to these type of results. I didn't see these results at day 7. You know, all I saw was fear of failure and like, oh my God, I bit off more than I can chew. I haven't been able to talk to a lot of people or get involved in the stuff that I say yes to a lot of stuff. And then, you know, during the first few weeks of this challenge, I kept saying yes to people. And it's like, wait a minute, I ain't got time for that. I want to, and I don't, you know, my motives were good, but holy crap, I bit off more than I could chew with this challenge at the beginning. And I thought, sure, failure or excuses were imminent. I thought for sure I'm going to push off the live stream. There's just no way I'm going to make it happen. Okay, I can just push off this daily vlog. You know, I can make some excuse. But nope, I just kept pressing through regardless of what my body told me. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm leading by example. If I can do it, I mean, you guys don't get it. Like, I'm just this addict type of, 10th grade dropout, runaway, drug addict, partier, no education, you know, was the craziest, wildest addict in the room. I was fun to hang out with until I wasn't. It was fun to go and commit crimes with me until it wasn't, because I just took it too far, you know, bad stuff. But if I can change my life, shoot, you can too. You just got to do it. You just got to get out there and do it. You want to hear the just for today? It's called Surrender, page 181. We didn't stumble into this fellowship brimming with love and honesty, open-mindedness, or willingness. When we were beaten, we became willing. Finally, the fight was taken out of us. And now we've become willing. Surrender may be the necessary foundation for recovery, but sometimes we fight. Most of us look back after some clean time and wonder why on earth we fought so hard to deny our powerlessness when surrender is what finally saved our lives. That's kind of what I was just getting at right there. As we recover, new opportunities to surrender present themselves. We can either struggle with everyone and everything we encounter, or we can recall the benefits of our first surrender and stop fighting. Most of the pain we experience comes from fighting, not surrendering. In fact, when we surrender, the pain ends and hope takes its place. We begin to believe that all will be well, and after some time realize that our lives are much better as a result. We feel the same way we did when we gave up the illusion that we could control our using, relieved, free, and filled with fresh hope. Huh? Just for today. Is there a surrender I need to make today? I will remember my first surrender and remind myself that I don't need to fight anymore. What did my first surrender look? What did your first surrender look like? There's been many, obviously, in my life, but the one that comes to mind is when I quit drinking. It was after an accident, right? My son's accident with his TBI and all that. I went off the deep end. I'm sitting in a motorhome outside my house, Monday or Tuesday, 10 in the morning, belligerent drunk, and had finished probably close to a couple gallons that weekend of whiskey. Didn't eat, just belligerent drunk. My first surrender was picking up the phone and saying, I need help. Calling my dad and saying, take me to the hospital to detox or I'm going to die. This is going to kill me. And that was my first surrender. And then I took, 47 days in a rehab, relapsed a little. And that was my second significant surrender. I surrendered to the program and to listening to wise people and listening to counselors and doing what they said. And that's another guy I'm grateful for in my life, Rick Visser, the greatest counselor I've ever met because he got through my knucklehead. But he told me stuff that I didn't want to hear. He told me the stuff I needed to hear. And then I acted on it. And now my life is better for it. You know what I mean? Surrender or acceptance. Both. Welcome, James. Good to see you. Glad you's here. Glad you's here on the Facebook side of things. How many people on Facebook watching right now? Got 3 people on Facebook, 3 people on YouTube, and nobody on Twitch. Twitch, I've never got anybody on Twitch. It's kind of funny. What about you? Can you remember a time in your life where you surrendered? Kind of surrender. What did it look like for you? Who likes Joe Rogan? I like Joe Rogan. So we're going to go through this. If you like me right here on the side or on the bottom? I like the side. But let's listen to this real quick. We'll stop and comment. It's like 8 minutes long today, but it's about that little theme I was talking about earlier. People need people. And God uses broken people to help broken people. And that's what Joe's going to talk about right now. And so let's listen for a minute. And we'll comment. You drop some comments. Let me know what you think.
Sometimes you don't find someone for a long time. And then when you do, it changes your whole life. You find someone, maybe it's just a YouTube video, and it's you saying it's still your motherfucking set, and it's you just pushing people and telling people to go get after it. And people see
that whole "it's still your mother effing set." Did you hear him say that? Still your mother effing set. Do you know who said that? Geesh, good morning. Do you know where that term comes from? Because that's a term I love. And there's actually hats and beanies you can get that says the acronym, "It's still your mother set." First person to tell me, I will give a shout out and a pat on the back if we ever meet in real life. Oh, but anyway, sorry to interrupt.
That, and all of a sudden it's like they get goosebumps, their heart starts racing. It's like you gave them a drug, like you gave them fuel. And then they want to change their life. Then they want to watch you tomorrow. And then they want to watch you when they're at lunch break. That's fuel. And you literally can change a person's life through that, because we need each other. I mean, it's one more piece of evidence that we need each other, and that we have this sort of a very strange, loose fitted community of all human beings together. When someone like you does something that's exceptional and says something that's exceptional and has these inspirational words, it can change a person's whole life, change their whole path, change who they are. I've gotten so many messages from people that say, I lost 130 pounds. I did this. I got off sugar. I'm fucking running every day. I hit the gym 5 days a week now. I'm a different person.
Rollo says, was that Fletch? Surrender sounds like a lot. Did you Google it? Or did you know? I bet you already knew. Surrender sounds like a loss of control that we have over our lives. The word acceptance gives us back control over any situation without surrendering control of ourselves. True, but sometimes we have to surrender to our old way of life, that it's beating us down. We have to surrender to the fact that we're in denial and stop being in denial, which goes hand in hand with acceptance, which is accepting, just like the big book says in page 417, until I accepted my alcoholism, I could never change. Surrender. You have to surrender to your ego. You have to surrender your character defects that's driving you to not be humble You know, you have to surrender to advice from counselors. You can't fight against it anymore, especially addicts and alcoholics. You know, some people don't have that problem. Some people do. But yes, it was C.T. Fletcher. C.T. Fletcher. Love that guy. Great story. If you ever get a chance to listen to his story, and super highly motivational for the gym.
I'm drinking water. I'm exercising. I take vitamins. I'm eating healthy. I got more juice. I got more energy. My whole life is different now. There's no personal satisfaction in accomplishments if nobody loves you. You're not going to enjoy it. Love is the most important thing. And that sounds so cliche, but without love, it's all useless. Yeah. It's all useless. We all need each other. Yeah. We really do. There's something beautiful about that, though. You know, like you can't just go it alone. You really do need each other.
There is that negative connotation to the word surrender, though, right? Like you're saying, it's a scary word. But a lot of us, you know, maybe it's surrounded by, I'm in war, and if I surrender to the enemy, or it gives men or women a fear of weakness. I'm weak if I surrender. I'm strong enough. And surrendering is sometimes admitting you're not strong enough, and you need people, you need help. And that's surrendering, you know. For me, that's what it looked like. Bria, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, surrender's scary. And that's why a lot of people won't recover. They won't get what they want out of life. Say you are in a job, and I use this example because I hear Gary Vee use this example, and Sean Cannell use it, and other successful people use this example. And then I put it into action in my life. I was on base working for the United States Air Force, making good money, right? Living the American dream. I could make payments. I could get good credit, and I could make big payments every month to drive the new things. But I was miserable. I was punching a clock. My heart was broken, and I was miserable. But my ego said, you know, I got to drive that new car. I work on base. I need a fifth wheel. Look where I work. I got to work for the weekend. And if I go out for the weekend, I need a camper to sleep in. So I better make payments, right? And I had to surrender the fact that I was unhappy in a job that paid good money. And I had to surrender my ego and downsize and get a car that wasn't as cool, but it was paid for. I had to not own a house and downsize to a little bit of a smaller place to get the lifestyle I wanted, which was the one I have now. We downsized everything, sold everything, all our overheads gone. And now I don't make as much money as I did on base, you know, but I surrendered to the fact that I was miserable. I surrendered to the fact that my ego of who I claimed to be, right? My identity was in my job on base. I'm a this and that, you know, and I surrendered that. I let go of it all, and I moved. And it wasn't weakness. It took strength and courage to do that. Good morning, Justin Sweet. Another great start to a day. Amen to that. Beautiful freaking day. Beautiful freaking day. It's going to be beautiful out there. I can see it. The skies are clear. Every time I look over this way, you guys, if you wonder why I go like this all the time, because I got a window. My door has a window, and I can see the sky. And I always judge and like, what? Do I need to wear a long sleeve shirt today? Is it raining? You know? And right now it looks beautiful for when I go on my bike ride here in a little bit. Get my exercise in, day 74 of a 75 hard challenge. What? And time has flown. All right, back to Joe.
Through time and effort, you build a stronger human. You build a stronger body. You build a stronger mind. You build accomplishments and will and momentum. And then you look back and you go, hey man, I'm not washing tables anymore. You know, I'm not washing dishes. I'm not cutting lawns. I'm not digging ditches. I'm a different person now. You are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. You might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You learn from it. That's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Keep moving. You know, use it as fuel. Say never again. I get what I did wrong, but don't think that you're that person that made those mistakes. You're the person who's learned. I think that enduring something and building up that ability to endure things, that's also a very important mechanism that you could apply to everyday life. Like that, the mechanism of understanding how to endure. There's a lot of people just running from discomfort. They're running from it. They're just avoiding it. It's so easy to. And like, if you get distracted for a second, you're like, let me check my phone. You just start going through your phone and looking at bullshit, and you're just distracting yourself from the tiniest frustration of boredom. Just the little, we don't get bored anymore. Or if we get bored, we get bored for these tiny amounts of time, and then you get distracted. So your distraction is eliminating your boredom. But the problem with that is like, there's certain thoughts that only come to you when you're thinking, when you don't have any input coming in. When we're constantly looking at our phones, the only input you're getting is input from other people. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes you get good stuff out of that, but it's like a diet of only fruit. You know, like, hey, motherfucker, you need some protein.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. Tell me what you think about this. But it seems like people, once they get to that the miserable state that I was in on my job, right? I was looking for entertainment. It's like, I have this money. I trade 40 hours plus a week of my time. I trade my time for this amount of money. And now I have this amount of money so that when my time that I'm not trading ends, and now I'm on my time, me time, I have to go spend my money on entertainment because I just did all that crap over there and I'm done. And I hated it, and work sucks, and blah, blah, blah. I punched the clock, and my supervisor's a prick, and all this kind of stuff. And now it's afterwards, right? So I drink to numb that pain in the week, but then the weekend comes and I got to be entertained. So what are we going to do? Instead of spending my money on investments or business or growing myself to be a better person, it's entertainment, right? I got to have the newest this, and I got to go to this place, and I got to be entertained by doing this and that, instead of actually putting the me time, my time, into being fulfilled, doing passions that actually fulfill your heart and soul, and connecting with other people. We start chasing, we have to be entertained. We got to always have to have fun, instead of doing hard things and discipline and pushing ourselves towards something that's actually going to give us fulfillment and joy. When's the last time you actually experienced true joy? Not laughter, not fun, not anti-boredom stuff, but true joy from accomplishments. You know, I think we're chasing the wrong stuff a lot of times, and that's why people like me end up drunker than drunk. Right? Felice and James sent some stars. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate that a whole tons and tons. I can't tell by looking at this monitor, but if I look at my Facebook feed, I appreciate that. Sending stars. Y'all can send stars to support this channel, which goes right to our local nonprofit and sustains all that kind of good stuff. I really appreciate that.
Like, this is, you need to get some other things in your diet, you know. And I think having discomfort in your diet, like having it as a regular part of your life, it minimizes the amount of other kinds of bullshit. And I think that insanity and greatness are next door neighbors, and they borrow each other's sugar. There's something about mastery, like true mastery, that requires you to shut off massive areas of your life, personal areas, relationships, education. My education was a joke. I mean, until I was 21 years old, until I started doing stand-up comedy, I didn't read books. I mean, I might have read a Stephen King book here and there to kill time. I was on the train on my way to training, but there was no desire to educate myself. If I was educating myself, it was maybe reading the Book of Five Rings to learn better strategy, to be a better fighter. That was all it was.
Or was there ever a point where you said, I'm a little out of balance, I need to go the other way?
Well, I realized I was a flawed person for sure. You know, and I think in realizing that you're a flawed person.
What helped you realize that?
Just fucking up. Just being an idiot, you know, realizing, you know, girls would get mad at me, or maybe guys would get mad at me, whatever it was. I realized that I had flaws, you know. I knew that I was, and then also failing at comedy. One of the hardest things to do is to go from being really great at something to sucking at something. And that's something that you suck at is now your path, you know, and that's what I found myself in comedy. You know, I could get laughs every now and then, but I knew I wasn't anything special. I knew I was terrible. And there was something exciting about being terrible because I had potential, because there was potential for growth. You know, if you start doing it and you're great at it, like naturally, like maybe I wouldn't have had the motivation to do it as a living for 25 years like I've done. I don't know. But at that time, you know, making that transition from martial arts competition to being a comedian, that's when I started going down the road of balance and started trying to balance myself as a person. And I started trying to almost educate myself to have more things to talk about on stage. And then along the way, my curiosity started to blossom. And then I started to just be interested in things for being interested in them. And as I got better as a comedian, I became less worried about what other people thought about me and more worried about just.
James says, I'm still trying to figure out how to implement what I've learned in AA into being healthy. Give me an example of what you've learned in AA that you're trying to implement. Because recovery is weird. It's not linear, right? You don't just you're not just on this line of learning and growth goes like this. It's like you learn and then you have to try to put it into practice and then you fail and then you got to learn from that experience. I know exactly how you feel. It's like, what does that even mean? Do y'all remember my tappers, listeners example? If I tap a tune, you hear random tappings, right? You just hear random ding tappings. It could be any song to you, but I could get frustrated that you don't know. And the reason that I would be frustrated as the person tapping is because I hear the tune in my head. I'm cursed with that knowledge. So when people are telling you stuff in AA and NA, and me up here trying to explain how me waking up at 6 o'clock every day for the last 74 days, even if it was the weekends, my birthday, Father's Day, every day I've woke up and I've come up here and I've done this. For me to discipline myself to grab my camera when I don't want to and I don't have a clue what I'm going to say and I just hit record and start blabbing and shooting video and then I come home and edit it and upload it. How beneficial that's been to my life. How every single day I've listened to, because I've been doing a lot of audiobooks. I've been reading physical books somewhat, but I put in at least an hour a day or more of listening to Audible. I've been corrected. It's Audible. How beneficial that is into my life and how valuable that has become to me. How listening to my counselor and doing hard things and changing my diet and working out and saying no to things. I'm tapping. I understand that because I'm 74 days into a challenge that has completely changed my life. Now, you on the other side don't know that because you haven't experienced it yet. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but how, like, you can't know until you've experienced and gone through it. You know what I mean? It's hard, you know, but that's the process. I wish I would have understood sooner too. Is just go out and try it. With me recording videos, Sean Cannell always says, just hit record. And days, like more days than not, have I been uninspired to record any of the videos that you see me try to put together. And now I'm trying to get better at it. But literally, I just grab my camera and I'm like, well, I have no clue. So I just hit record and I just start recording. I put it to my face and I start saying stuff. And if I didn't consume the books, I wouldn't have much to say. If I didn't experience some of the stuff I have, I wouldn't have much to say. And so it's hard for me to express the experiential side of that. And that's what you're hearing in AA and NA. When you listen to like old timers and people who have gotten out of the program, what we desire to get out of it, they're further down the road. You can't compare yourself to them for sure, but they're further down the road and they're tapping and saying, look, this is what I've experienced. This is what I've experienced. And us as the listeners, all we hear is the tap. We don't have the knowledge yet that they have. And when they're saying it, they're saying it from the side of knowledge and they like try and like get it, understand, but it's a path. It's a journey, you know. Chad, good morning. Welcome to the show. Chad with the tornado. I guess I need to surrender to the fact that I am an alcoholic in so many ways other than alcohol. Oh, absolutely. Alcohol is the solution to our problems. Doing drugs was a solution. As soon as you get rid of the drugs and alcohol, so say alcoholism for a minute, right? You have alcoholism. You get rid of the alcohol, you're left with the ism. And that is you that you have to take care of. That's where you got to figure out, why did I need alcohol to relax at the end of a hard day? Why do I need alcohol to change my mood? Why do I need alcohol to be socially confident? Why do I need that? Why do I need alcohol to distract me? Why do I need alcohol to sleep? What am I doing wrong that I need to pound this much alcohol to make myself pass out? Which, passing out on alcohol is really no sleep at all. It's horrible sleep. Why? You start asking those questions, and that takes us back to that Jordan Peterson stuff. Is like, if you really want to fix yourself, and you really have to want to know the answer to the questions, is like, what am I doing wrong every single day that is screwing up my life? But you have to be honest about that. You have to look in the mirror rigorously, and then when those things start to pop out, say, just for example, you need alcohol to make yourself pass out at night. Is it because the next morning you wake up, the first thing you have is a cup of coffee? Of course it is. That's what I do. And then after the cup of coffee, you've washed it down with a rock star. And after that, you're eating donuts, candy bars, sugar, and then a couple more rock stars or caffeine or coffee later in the day. And now your body's so full of caffeine and you haven't really been drinking much water. Your diet consists of McDonald's and stuff like that. And so now your body's processing all this garbage and sugar and caffeine, and you can't sleep at night. You know what I mean? So then, you pound alcohol. Alcohol just knocks you out, which your body still doesn't rest well because it's still processing all this stuff. Just small stuff like that. That's just one example. Maybe you've had trauma in your childhood. Maybe you grew up with alcoholic parents. Maybe that's what you've learned. Maybe you were beaten as a kid. Maybe you've had some bad things happen. Maybe you started drinking super duper young because your cousins around you were doing it and you thought it was cool. It's a journey. It's a path. That's why we talk about here at local RA, when people come and join our program, we tell them, look, this is a path of self-discovery. We're going to learn. We have to discover who we are, what we like and what we don't like. Life abstinence from drugs and alcohol, and the process of fixing our habitual survival, addictive thinking ways is a path of self-discovery. We try to rekindle passions that we may have used to like when we were little, dreams that we had and stuff that when we were young. We try to think about those things and see if we still like them, or try something new that we've never done before. And if we like it, bam, there you go. There's a new passion for you to hang on to. And then get healthy in your mind, body, and soul. Our biopsychosocial. And then we build relationships with other people that are like-minded. And it's a journey, it's a path, and it takes freaking time. I've been working out for 2.5 years now since my addiction. I didn't start working out for about 7 months after I quit drinking. But now working out is a habit of my life that I, for the foreseeable future, Lord willing, that I will not quit and give up on, because, I'm at that age. I got to take care of myself. It's getting harder to heal. I don't want to be injured. And I'm either going to go in a maintain upward trajectory of health, or everything's just declining from here. I'm over the hill, y'all. I can't afford that. You know what I mean? Alcohol. Have you read page 417, bro? 417 in the big book is a good one about surrender. Very good one. I highly suggest we read that. We will check on our 30-day challengers here in a minute, and I'll explain what that is in the Discord right after this.
Improving and keeping this sort of momentum going. And as I relaxed more, in having some success in life, and sort of not worrying about bills as much, not worrying about my future, then I started to explore altered states of consciousness, and then I really started opening up the door to the whole yin and the yang. Life is filled with so many different kinds of experiences that are available, and that's one of the things that you sort of open up to when you relax. when you relax and, you don't worry about what you look like, you don't worry about what you sound like, you don't worry about how people feel about you, because you've thought about all these different things on your own, and you've kind of corrected as many things as you can correct given that time period. But you feel comfortable that you're on a good path. Then you sort of can entertain ideas that maybe you wouldn't if you were insecure or more insecure. I think you have to be insecure if you're finite. We're worried about death. We're worried about disease. We're worried about loved ones. We're always going to be, in a certain sense, insecure. We're worried about being sexually attractive. We're worried about being socially interesting.
Sure.
There's always going to be some form of insecurity, but that's also part of the balance of life too. It's like you don't ever get to bliss. What you get to do is chase bliss. You get to enjoy the moment. The moment is amazing, and it'll go away, and you'll be fucking tired, and you got to get up, and you got to drive in traffic, and you're not going to like it, and you got to, do some shit you don't want to do. There's a lot of times where I work out where I don't want to, and I make myself do it. If I was living in bliss, I'd just be a fat fuck sitting on the couch, thinking that I don't want to do that. My life is about enjoyment. No, there's enjoyment in doing things you don't enjoy.
Yeah, there is. That's that whole thing I was trying to say earlier about, are we chasing entertainment too much? I always needed to be entertained and laugh. Everything's got to be fun, entertaining all the time. And I was thinking about that. I don't think it would be fun to be entertained all the time. Like, we have a park here, like a roller coaster park called Lagoon. And it's fun. You go there for a day and you have fun riding these roller coasters. But I don't think that would be fun all the time, like 24 hours a day. Doing hard things is very rewarding. And like what he was saying, he doesn't feel like working out. During this 74 days that I've been on this challenge, I've worked out twice every single day. Every morning I get up, after I do this live stream, I go on a bike ride or something to that effect, hiking or something to that effect, right? And I'll bet you 50 days out of this 74, my body's like, no, we don't want to do this today. I don't want to get up and I picture myself out of breath, like sweating, my legs burning as I'm climbing a hill. And I'm just like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I like the way my body feels right now, lazy and just chill. But I press through. I ignore my body's advice. And I've never regretted a workout. Every workout I've completed, 2 a day, after I'm done, I'm going, so glad I did that. Man, why did I not want to do that? Why did my body kick against that? Like, this is so much more of a better feeling on that side of the stuff we're looking for, the stuff we chase. Endorphins, adrenaline. And endorphins are good, happy, feel-good hormones that are healthy for you to have in your body. And that's another reason we chase drugs and alcohol, because we don't feel like that, right? We're bored or we need to relax at the end of the day. And so we pound a bunch of alcohol. It releases those endorphins, but it's in an unhealthy way because you're poisoning yourself in the meantime. You're giving, you become a belligerent like me. You become belligerent, and then it becomes an addictive habit. And then you have to drink more to get the same effect. But if you flip it, and you chase those same endorphins on the healthy side of things, you never regret it. And you don't live in shame and guilt, and you don't ruin your life. What if it isn't linear, birth to death and conceptualization, awareness that life events and our own thoughts are open and completely in our control? Thoughts in life don't follow pattern. Life is not. I don't think it is either. Absolutely. We are control of our second thought. A lot of times we start thinking stuff and we are not in control of it. Like that first thought that gives us anxiety, right? We can't control that first thought. If I say to you right now, pink elephant, don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about it. You cannot not think about that pink elephant. So in a sense, we can't control what we think, but we can combat it with our second thought and say, man, I'm not going to go down that road. Life's a trip. Life's a journey. Life is a path of self-discovery, and it's scary at times. It's hard at times. Oh man, I didn't sign in. We got to see how our 30-dayers are doing. So I've decided, since I was on this channel and back in May, we dropped our first 30-day challenge in our Discord. So if you're a part of our community and you're in our Discord, we do monthly challenges now. And these monthly challenges are designed to make us to help us grow in recovery, to help us heal our biopsychosocial, to get our sleep schedules on track, to help eat, and to do things like journaling. Like one of our challenges for this month is to journal. And what are we journaling about? We're looking at the hand we were dealt. What does the hand we were dealt mean? The hand we were dealt means you woke up, you became aware one day. All of a sudden you started looking around. I think I watched my daughter experience this awareness just over the last year or so, because we went on a little road trip and she's like, whoa, I've never left Utah. I'm like, yeah, you've left Utah. I have, and it was like her first time really being aware of a road trip and what it means. And now she looks around and she's like, okay, I'm aware I live in Utah. I'm aware that I'm a little white girl. I'm aware that those are my parents. That's the hand she was dealt. She's aware, and boom, this is the life she was brought in, right? So in our journaling, we look at our life in our hand that we were dealt. Me, I woke up and my awareness came in Roy, Utah. I remember I was about 6 years old. I'm on the street. It's 1986. I was driving my little BMX around the block. And I was just aware, like, oh, okay, I go to Roy Elementary. This is where I live. There's my mom and dad. And they're fighting again. Okay, this is life. This is what it is. That was the hand I was dealt. So we look at the hand we were dealt, and then we look at what we're at right now in life. What's holding us back? Why do we not dare to do things we want? Why don't we dare to be ourselves? What's holding us back from succeeding? And how do those two correlate? And we just spend some time thinking about it and journaling it. I had to get over some stuff about presuppositions of my life and the way I thought it was going to turn out because of the hand I was dealt. And once I overcame that, freedom, right? And so that's part of our challenge here in our June challenge. And then it's drinking water, working out every day, and then posting it in the Discord. And I've added a little spice to people to help, donate a little, send us stars. We're going to buy a gift certificate for a pair of Noble workout shoes. And at the end of this 30-day challenge, if you've completed all the tasks and posted them every single day, you get put into a drawing. I'm going to pull a name. We're going to show the name on here. And then I'm going to send them a gift certificate so they can get them a pair of sick, nice, awesome, Noble workout shoes. Rallo Kaka says, it's almost harder to become an addict after surrendering to the acceptance that we are an addict. Yeah. Yeah. That's that whole, they have a saying for that in AA. It's hard to have a belly full of whiskey and a head full of AA. Facts. Because then it's just miserable. You know what you're doing to yourself. So right here's where we do our challenges. It's in the Discord. A Discord looks like this. It's really super organized Facebook with all kinds of different channels for different random things. And up here in our Discord, there's the 30-day challenge. This is where we do all our chatting right in here. We just talk and post stuff and help encourage each other, post a little bit of pictures. But each person gets their own channel, like Savage Freedom. And she likes to do these little collages about her planners, her water, her exercise log, the book she's reading, and some other stuff she's done throughout the day that's inspired her to get out of the house. And that was visiting Wayne Earl, a relative in the grave. And then Geesh has gotten himself a mountain bike. He goes on a walk. He's been drinking his water. He's been documenting his rides. Hell of a ride. Also rode to work today and planning on riding again tomorrow. Isn't that funny? Just a little side note real here. Let me get off track for just a second here. But when you ride your bike across town or two places, you get there a lot faster than you would think. And it doesn't take as much effort as you would think either. I remember I've rode my bike across town to like a little meeting we've had. And they're just like, what? You rode all the way here on your bike? Do you need a ride home? I'm like, no, it was actually nice. And it didn't take as long as you would think. You don't have to stop at all the stoplights. You get little shortcuts. You get little fun jumps and curbs and it feels good. Dude, ride your bike to work. That's awesome. I rode my bike to a dentist appointment the other day, and then I rode my bike to get my oil change. I'll drop my truck off, walk home, grab my bike, or I'll take my bike with me and go for a bike ride. I love it. Journaling in the rain. Journaling ignited some anxiety. So I hope on my bike, hopped on my bike, got another 4.5 mil of Jello leg. Awesome, dude. And dude, you get more steps than anybody I know. Geesh gets like 21,000 steps a day. 9.7 miles. Dude's crazy. 32 ounces of water. Good job, brother. Proud of you, man. If you have a second, if you're not busy, Geesh, drop a comment on just how well this challenge or how good this challenge has been for your mental health, marriage, life, in a couple sentences. If you have time. If you're working, you're busy, and you're just listening, don't worry about it. Jen Ray doing the same thing. Walk, run, lift, sports series. Good job. I love it. Doing her journaling, drinking her water, doing her journal. Let's see what book she's listening to. Enough. You are enough. You are. It's a path of self-discovery. And it's funny when you start going down these challenges and you start figuring out who you are, at least for me in my experience, I was like, well, I kind of like who I am now. I definitely like who I am better than it's because he walks in circles, he says. I just see him like walking in circles. That's hilarious. Rollo, thank you so much for the 50 stars, brother. Appreciate that. Totally appreciate that. But you start to like yourself. And that's another part of the challenge that I've been doing. I forgot to tell you, but I do 20 things I'm grateful for. I just say them out loud. I pull out my grateful guns all day and just try to just name things I'm grateful for. And now that's kind of become habitual and keeping me in a positive mindset. But then I've been doing the hard one, and that's trying to figure out things that I actually do like about myself and saying them out loud or writing them down. Try that. Try finding stuff today. Today, as you finish off this Thursday morning, you got time. Think throughout this day. And remind yourself, because you're going to stop thinking about it once we stop talking about it. But hey, what do I like about myself? Like Rollo. He's got awesome energy. The dude is good at talking, and he's fun to listen to. He's got great sense of humor. But can you say that and really appreciate that about yourself? And if you can, awesome. Find some other stuff that you like about yourself. And I challenge that to everybody that's listening right now. Say some stuff that you like about yourself. Renee, she's doing it too. She's kicking it. Welcome to anybody that just showed up. I'm LT. I'm an alcoholic addict. This is Recovering Addict, and we are a channel about relapse prevention and doing hard things and making and building better habits so that we can be happy, joyful, and satisfied in life. I love it. She's doing it. She's doing the thing. Drinking water, reading books, and journaling. It's so weird how those little things can change your life. It is a lot more simple than we make it out to be. Love Miss Happiness, doing her thing, drinking her water. See? And it's funny. I get little side messages from everybody that are in these challenges about how much these, and I don't want to just spill the beans on there and read their comments to everybody, but it's changing their lives, and it's changed my life, and it can change yours too. It's just something you got to try, man. Geesh, this is how it's changed his life. I have so much energy now. It's crazy. Home life has improved tenfold. Wife and I are getting along better than ever. Isn't that weird? Your whole state of being becomes that much more positive. Do you still have hard days? Do you still get stressed out and have some anxiety? Do you still get grumpy in a bad mood and your body doesn't want? Yes, that's a part of life. But in the overall general sense, the scale has shifted to where we live in a more positive, happy state of mind, a state of being. We're lighter on our feet mentally. We're lighter on our feet physically. And we do. Like, how do I have more things on my plate during this 75-day challenge? How do I get up earlier and go to bed later and complete and do more tasks, but yet I have more energy? What? I used to sleep in till noon thinking that I need to sleep because I'm tired. All I got to do is sleep. I need to sleep. I need to sleep so much. You don't. I don't anyway. Rallo says, thank you, LT. That's just a byproduct of me. You should see under the hood. That is awesome. Everybody that sent stars today, thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow morning and watch for my daily vlogs too. And then I'm going to take a break this weekend. So tomorrow is the last day of this challenge. I'm going to take a break from recording. I'm going to take a break from live streaming Saturday and Sunday. Just clear my head, refocus. And then Monday, I will be back. Live streams will be daily, but only on Facebook. And then Sundays on YouTube, you can catch Fleece and I live again after this following Sunday. So things are going to be restructured. I will drop our new schedule in the Discord. I will make sure to post it on the Facebook page so you all can stay tuned to what my next challenge is going to look like in my life. Because if this one was so beneficial, why would I quit? Why would I just say, okay, I'm done and go back to bed and sleep till noon? I don't think so. So that's what's going to change, y'all. Just a little bit of logistics and quality. But the content is always going to be here to help you. And you know that we recover better together. We recover better together. That's why we do this. People need people. We love each other. We admire each other. We strengthen each other. We encourage each other. We cry with each other. And it's just something humans need. And that's a community I want to build with the Discord, with our YouTube, with our Facebooks, and our local program as well. So if you're in the local area, join us. Come stop by the gym over on 14th and Wall. Until then, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your programs, and remember, we recover better together.